Hello and welcome to the viewers of this video. This is the Orange Fan here, bringing you the franchise overview for the Dragon Ball franchise, considered by many to be one of, if not the greatest of manga and anime franchises to have been created. It's commonly agreed to at least be one of the most influential, since chances are people have at least heard about it, even if they haven't actually read or seen it. And it did inspire creators of other popular franchises, such as One Piece and Naruto, to name a few examples. My history with the franchise begins on the old Toonami of Cartoon Network in the late 90s, when they were airing reruns of the Ocean dub. Or for the more pedantic, it would be the joint Funimation and Saban dub featuring the Ocean cast, but that's a mouthful, so let's just stick with Ocean dub for simplicity's sake. I always remember being bummed out when the series would start at the beginning again, just after Goku began to fight the Ginyu Force on Namek, and I was wondering if we were ever going to get some new episodes. Just a bit before Funimation's in-house dub episodes started airing on Toonami, I did stumble across the international channel, which did feature reruns of the subbed version. Or I guess it would be more accurate to say raw because there weren't actually subtitles present during those reruns. But the funny thing was, I did end up hearing the subcast before I heard Funimation's in-house cast. And although the Funimation cast weren't my first cast that I heard, like I said, the Ocean dub was the first I heard English and overall, and I heard the subcast before I heard the Funimation cast. But it is the Funimation cast that I have the most affinity for. And I do admire how far they've come along from their beginning, since the Dragon Ball franchise was, for many of them, if not all of them, their first go into the voiceover business. And they've come a long way since then. Dragon Ball Z Kai's dub is a great example of that, since they now have more experience and a better understanding of the characters compared to when they did regular DBZ. And it helps that DBZ Kai is overall a much more accurate dub to the source material compared to the old regular DBZ dub. So if you like the subcast or the Ocean dub cast, or if you liked any of those other casts for the other language dubs, that's A-okay in my book. But for me, Sean Schemmel is Adult Goku, Chris Sabat is Vegeta, Piccolo, Yamcha, Shenron, Porunga, and so many others. And so on and so forth. It's cool if you don't agree with me. All I ask is that we not antagonize each other just because we may like certain voices better than others. And of course, while I started with regular DBZ, I did go on to watch Dragon Ball, Dragon Ball GT, and I even managed to come across the manga and read that, and really became very immersed with the franchise. As for why the franchise grew on me, that is a good question, because I'm not really sure why, but something about it just clicks. Maybe it's because it's like a fantasy kitchen sink where they just have all sorts of wacky stuff put together, like dinosaurs, high-tech hover cars. Maybe it's because there's aliens, anthropomorphic animals all together, and supernatural entities. Yeah, if you were to actually ask me, I'm not sure if I could give a straightforward answer, but somehow it just clicked for me. And I was definitely excited to find out that it sort of received a renaissance of sorts, with Dragon Ball Super now airing, both in Japan and in the United States with a new Funimation dub, which, like DBZ Kai, is much more accurate to the source material. In fact, I will be doing episode recap and thoughts for the Funimation dub of Dragon Ball Super. My main request, though, is for those in the comments section, please don't give away any details of what's going on in the subbed version while I'm doing these recap and thoughts for the dubbed episodes. I'm caught up to speed with what's going on in the subbed version. I'm sure so many others are caught up to speed with regards to the subbed version. But there are some people I know viewing these videos who haven't heard any of the things to come in the sub version, and they're just following along with the dubbed version as their first exposure to what's going on in Dragon Ball Super. So please don't give anything away to them regarding the sub version. Let them figure it out in the way they prefer to watch it. That's my big request to those of you who have seen the sub version, and I would greatly appreciate it if you did not give that away to them. But this is just the first of many videos dedicated to the Dragon Ball franchise on this channel. You can be assured there's going to be a lot more where this came from. Take care, and until next time.